Okay, folks, I'm gonna get to go to this next case for free yet again. This is the final case in Mysteries of the Past. It is time to bring down Justin Lawson. Last stand for justice. Here we go.
Frank says you haven't been eating since the chemo started.
You two been talking behind my back.
Point is, I got this friend back in Burlington. Her cancer. She gave me something that might help.
Come on, everyone, hurry up. We need to be far away from here when the Justice Corps realized we broke you all out of jail. Thank heavens you came for us, Matthew. We would no doubt have been executed at first light otherwise. We still might be. Now that Lawson knows we're working to take him down, he will show us no mercy. Well, we can't go back to the airship. Lawson's goons are bound to look for us there, and we can't stay in a large group. We'd be too easy to spot.
And you know this.
We must split up. Surely you're not leaving me and the baby to cover more ground. I'm afraid I must. I have. There is something I need to do back at the airship.
This is a medicine with proven benefits.
What? But you just said we should... I know, but I have no choice. Believe me, I wouldn't leave you and our son unless it was of the utmost importance. This is madness, Charlie. At least let me come with you. We'll have safety in numbers. Thank you, Bontemps. I'd appreciate the backup. Let me just get out of this dreadful uniform and we'll be off. I'll see you soon, my love. Matthew, let's all meet back at the Highmore Estate in half an hour. Godspeed. Now, let's do this. Good show, Matthew. You made it. Is everyone accounted for?
There's another?
No, neither Charlie nor Bontemps have arrived yet. I'm terribly worried about them, Matthew. I knew going back to the airship was sheer folly. What if Lawson's henchmen were lying in wait and have captured them? Or worse. Madeline is right, Matthew. It shouldn't have taken Bontemps and Charlie this long. I admit it's risky, but someone needs to go to the airship and find out what's going on. Alright, George, I hope for some sleep, but let's first go tell your silly papa to come home. Madeline, you cannot be serious. You just gave birth and... That is exactly why I intend to go myself. I did not give birth to little George for our family to be separated. Very well. I know better than to argue with the young mother. Take Matthew with you and come back with our men as fast as you can.
We'll try to ID a supply. I'm not gonna help you out with that. My name's Leo Wilshire. Figures. We thought it was one. We just couldn't trace the calls. You have anything from last Tuesday?
There's no one out here, Matthew. Perhaps Charlie and Bontemps are somewhere inside the airship.
38 hours. That's a few minutes before.
There's nothing for it. We must go inside. Let's see what was so important that Charlie needed to come back to his lab despite the danger.
Sounds like they kissed and made up.
Can I call my mom? Wait. Look, I'll be back to you. There's a kid at the door.
A kid?
Can I call my mom? Wait. Look, I'll be back to you. There's a kid at the door.
A minute after this,
The lady down the hall heard shots.
we think the killers used this kid to get
Let's find out.
Didn't we see a bunch of kids going in there?
Right. Coming back from school. Okay.
Oh no.
Stop it there. What about him? You see that bulge in his waistband? Under his shirt?
Oh
He's carrying a case.
no.
Killers didn't use the kids as access. The killers were the kids.
It's Charlie. Oh no. Already, this case has gotten off to a sad start.
The story's falling apart. She keeps talking. I thought you said that you wanted to bring your sales to justice.
I do, but this is so much more than that now. I'm the face of a movement.
Law and Order SVU, Saturday, 9/8 Central.
Because Progresso soup is full of elegant.
Oh no, I'm not looking forward to this.
To describe it.
Oh my God, Charlie! Wake up, please, Charlie! Matthew, Charlie's been shot. We need to get him to a hospital. We. Matthew! Oh no, Madeline! I didn't want you to see Charlie this way. Bontemps, what's going on? Why is Charlie? What? He can't be. Oh no. I am terribly sorry, Madeline. I never intended for you to find Charlie like this. Come on, why can't we lose? Come on, why do we gotta lose a member of the team like this? This is just like Pacific Bay. I don't understand. What happened? You were supposed to protect one another. That was my plan, but Charlie ordered me to leave him alone, saying he'd evade the Justice Corps more easily on his own. I couldn't stop worrying, so I eventually came to the airship myself. I arrived here a few minutes ago, only to find the place deserted and Charlie dead. Madeline, you should return to Lady Highmore's estate with your son. Matthew and I can handle this. You'll do nothing of the sort. As the last one to see my husband alive, you're a suspect in this case. And if anyone is going to investigate his murder, it's me. We'll speak to you later, Bontemps. Matthew, I do agree, this is no place for a newborn baby. I shall quickly go back to Lady Highmore's and leave little George in her care. Then we should have another look at the crime scene.
Hi, I'm just looking at my account and I've got all this extra
Oh
cash
my
back.
goodness.
Yeah, that's your cashback match. Only discover which back view card members earn at the end of their first year. You matched everything I earned this year? Yeah. Woo! More money, more money! That's all very exciting. I'm gonna spread the news.
At the end of their first year, only from Discovery.
Looks like you found a better way to do this, Dad. Organic, non-GMO.
Oh man.
I can raise you too. I can raise anything. Purdue, raising more organic chickens than anyone. Old man still got it.
Just when I think we're gonna bring Bontemps, excuse me, just when I think we're gonna bring down Justin LAWSON, Bontemps is now a suspect. Oh goodness. I was hoping this would not happen, and it did.
I'd say $5 blast. We know that when you're spending time with the grandkids, every minute counts. And you don't have time for a cracked windshield. That's why we showed you exactly when you're
There we go.
saving you time, so you can keep saving.
Unknown device. Wrench.
Nourishing repair. Whole blends by Garnier. Honey Treasures Hair Care. With the essence of orange
Camera.
nourishes deeply for naturally beautiful revived hair. Garnier Whole Blends Honey Treasures.
There we go.
I remember them. They didn't come by here.
Here they got in the car. You see a car waiting.
The only car I noticed was double parked in that no loading zone. I was supposed to ask him. My delivery truck had to park right around the corner because of him.
What kind of car?
Town car with a chauffeur. He was there often.
Oh Matthew, I still can't believe this is happening. How can Charlie be gone? No, I must be strong. You found a small device, Matthew. How could this tiny thing be worth risking his life for? I don't understand. How could this tiny thing be worth risking his life for? I don't understand. But maybe decrypting the machine's access code will provide us with answers. And we shall need to speak with Bontemps to find out exactly how all of this happened. My dear husband, the father of my child has been murdered, and I shall not rest until the person responsible pays for their crime.
2 years in, a pension. Chief, I can explain.
God, I really hope Bontemps is not the killer.
Okay. Shower and change your clothes after you smoke.
I need to get started. Sit tight, folks. Okay, now I've gotten 8 stars. I'm gonna get the rest a little later. My day's getting pretty late, but I know what I must do. There we go. You've managed to crack the access code on Charlie's device, Matthew. This blinking light seems to suggest it's working, but I have no clue what it's for. If only... I still don't understand why he risked his life so foolishly. What could have been so important? I suppose you could be right, Matthew. We should return to the Highmore estate. Perhaps Evie can make something of this device. Like, just once, I'd like the whole team to stick. You know, just once, I would really like to see the whole team.
We've tried an FDA-approved targeted therapy. Who wouldn't want a chance for another? Who'd say no to it? Who wouldn't want a chance to live longer? Opdivo, nivolumab. Over 40,000 patients have been prescribed Opdivo.
Just once, I would really like the team to stick together through and through.
This may have a very rapid treatment center and may become serious and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you experience mood loss, chest pain, shortness of breath, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, extreme fatigue, constipation.
Now let's talk to Isaac Bontemps. God, I really hope that he is not the criminal. My dear Madeline, I cannot conceive of what to say. My heart breaks for you at the loss of poor Charlie. I'll listen to condolences later, Bontemps. Right now, I want answers. For example, I want to know how you could let Charlie venture to the airship alone without even asking him to explain himself. Of course I asked, but he refused to tell me anything. And before I had the chance to argue further, he was off. If only I had ignored him, perhaps Charlie would still be alive. How about when you got to the airship? You must have seen something, someone running away, anything. I'm afraid not. The airship and the landing pad were deserted, surprisingly so. I didn't see a soul. Well, Charlie wasn't shot by a ghost. Someone must have entered the airship somehow. And if they entered the airship, they must have come out again. I agree, Matthew. We need to search the landing pad. Let's hope the Justice Corps aren't waiting for us there.
Suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away. Depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision.
But we're doing this.
Dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and
Although
feet. Don't drink
Charlie
alcohol, take
DuPont
Lyrica.
is
Don't
gone,
use machine
this
learning.
is for him.
That affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem could be more likely to misuse Lyrica. Now I have less diabetic nerve pain. Ask your doctor about Lyrica. In return for your testimony, you'll be sentenced as a juvenile. That means you'd be free in 4 years. I'm not a rat.
It's not about that. It's about your future.
But I'm scared of jail. I'm not. Rafa, you're a normal soul. I'm a good dog. Don't tell me what to do. I don't take orders from you. What do you do from Solo cells to familia. No saben de. No somos te criamos nosotros. I want to go now, okay? Rafa, listen to your parents. They put themselves in great danger to help you. We're done here. I'm so sorry. We'll keep trying.
6 months with the Mexican mob still a number on us.
Someone to deprogram it. I see a lot of parallels between this boy and the child soldiers I met in Africa. It's not hard to desensitize boys to violence and throw in a system of rewards, video games, drugs, sex. So how did we reach them? Well, in Africa, we reintroduced the child soldiers back into their old villages, into their old lives, to help them rediscover their humanity. We don't have a lot of time. This sounds as simple as it sounds. Break and triggered by the smallest thing. For example, you shoot for something that taps into the side of a boy that silly kid that loves his family.
Ow.
Do that and chances are...
One card. Okay, there it is. Now I just gotta find the umbrella.
already stated that he has no interest in Walker.
Understood.
There it is.
Alright, then let's talk about Rafa's pre-trial detention.
We'll be working through lunch stuff if you want to order something.
I just want to get out of here. His current facility has a poor safety record. We've approached DOJ and they've agreed to do that.
I can only imagine. God, you just can't blame Maddie for feeling this way. There's still no sign of the Justice Corps, Matthew. I don't know whether to be reassured or worried. Either way, let's be quick.
Okay, so
Putting that torn card back together may offer up a new lead, while a quick search of that pile of leads can uncover a vital clue. We haven't a moment to lose, Matthew. The scoundrel who murdered my husband is out there as we speak.
City with facilities in northern New Jersey. Until we can move him, he'll continue to.
And like I said, I really hope it is not Isaac Bontemps. There we go. This appears to be some sort of calling card, Matthew, but apart from this monogram, there are no identifying marks. I realize the longer we stay here, the more dangerous it becomes. But we must consult the airship archives to see if we can find a match for this monogram.
At first, it was like being in a video game. I was excited.
Stop being excited.
Yes,
What must I do?
they made us take cocaine. I didn't want to, but they said it would relax us. But I'd never done it before. Well, it was scary.
What else? It was scary.
It was saying this work. And everything just took it. What they
That's Diego's alter ego. The airship used to feel like home, Matthew, but now it's empty and foreboding. Did you find anything in Ebby's archives? The monogram on this calling card is in fact the initials ELB, and it belongs to a certain Eddie LeBold. Eddie LeBold? Why, that's the alias Diego has been using while posing as a city clerk. How would his calling card have ended up outside the airship? He hasn't come here since Lawson fired him from the squad. I agree, Matthew. We need to talk to Diego right away. Let's check his apartment.
It's about the female in New York who took on the Villa cartel. The dead female.
Let's talk to Diego.
They follow through on their threats.
I wonder.
No, I want to see this through, Jack.
Matthew, Madeline, thank heavens you both are safe. The last I heard, Lawson had you and the rest of the squad locked up. As soon as I heard you'd been captured, I went to the airship to see if anyone was there, but naturally the place is deserted. So that's how we found your card there. And you didn't see anything? Not even Charlie? No, why? What about Charlie? Is he alright? I'm afraid not. He's... Oh, Diego, Charlie's dead. He's been murdered. Murdered? Dear God, Madeline, is there anything I can do? The best thing you can do is stay safe. We might need to talk to you again before the day is through.
2 weeks and subjected to psychological manipulation.
Has underwent routine counseling after 6 months in a thrall your case does rest largely on the boy's testimony, Mr. Carter. Skylar's allegation is a serious one. I'm obliged to hear the motion. Our witness is primed and ready. The motion should be heard right now. You have 24 hours. We're adjourned till 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Good heavens, Matthew, you found a gun at the bottom of those leaves, and it's covered in blood.
Officers, please give them a moment.
If this gun is a murder weapon, then that blood could be Charlie's. You're right, Matthew. I need to stay strong, for Charlie's sake. Let's send this firearm to Viola so she can analyze the blood. This is 9 hours. I'll see you all stars collected by then. Thank you for watching. This is for Charlie. See y'all.
Bad weather, it does mention rough water.
Okay, folks, let's get the autopsy results first of Charlie.
You do remember at the time.
Madeline, dear, are you sure you want to listen to my autopsy results? I would understand if you prefer to wait outside.
Yes, there were people that had no problem with it.
No, Richard, I need every bit of information available if I want to find Charlie's killer.
In 2 hours, it was very calm.
You're a very brave woman, I have to admit. This was the first time I did not look forward to examining a corpse. Who can blame him?
Now, I remember in the 70s we had sea flight.
However, Charlie's body revealed a number of interesting things. The bullet I extracted was damaged beyond recognition, indicating that Charlie was shot at close range.
Desire for some type of fairy system.
Which probably explains why I found a handful of crumbs on Charlie's vest. After closer analysis, I determined they're scraps of ration biscuits, the kind one would find in a survival pack.
If you remember, not until long ago, we actually had a fairy connecting.
Now, Charlie hadn't eaten a single morsel in quite some time, meaning the biscuit crumbs must have been left behind by his killer.
And you might even remember here on Oahu for a while.
Ration biscuits are no smoking gun by any means, Matthew, but it's a start. Let's add that to the killer's profile.
Your report mentions Tasmania off of Australia as a possibility that they're looking at there.
I was looking at some of the testimony at the legislature.
Boy, I really hope that Isaac Bontemps is not the killer. And just once, I would really like it if the whole team stays in one piece. As in, nobody is autopsied. It happened to Frank Knight in Pacific Bay, Samuel King in Grimsboro. We lost Michelle in the World Edition. And now Charlie Dupont here. And we also lost Armand Dupont in the World Edition as well. Oh, Matthew, I haven't stopped crying since I heard the dreadful news. I can't believe Charlie's gone. How could anybody do such an awful thing? If there is anything I can do, Maddie, you need only ask.
Someone's going to say, look, there's a market here. Let's study the lessons of the Hawaii Super Ferry.
All any of us can do right now is our job, Evie. We must find Charlie's killer. Mother's justice.
Thank you for being with us, Chad. Aloha.
You're absolutely right. In fact, Charlie himself has already managed to help us track down the culprit. What do you mean? This device you found, Matthew. At first, the contraption was a complete mystery. The flashing light meant it was obviously doing something, but what? Then it occurred to me to pay attention to the pattern of the flashes. I realized this is a Morse code communication device, transmitting an encrypted message from Charlie's killer.
To me, that's revolutionary, but it's also a part of how help should be delivered.
What? The killer sent a message to Charlie? Without question. The message repeats, Charlie, meet me at the airship at sunset. Come alone. The killer used Charlie to his lab to set a trap. And this is why Charlie went back to that blasted airship? He threw his life away all because of an anonymous message? How could he do this to us? To his son? Matthew, how?
But first, dangerous surf impact from the North Shore.
And even bigger surf on its way.
Yeah, we had a big storm system.
I'm sorry, Maddie. Listen, we may not yet know the identity of Charlie's killer, but one thing is certain. They have a thorough knowledge of Morse code. Oh, do they? Well, now we're on their trail. Charlie's killer will be sending out an SOS before long.
Island News is sponsored by Fujitsu. When you're working, nothing is more important than a solid
gun.
Red Wing Shoes has the expertise and experience.
You can imagine the morale would be like this. Madeline, you poor dear, I shan't pretend to understand what you're going through. Just remember, I'm always here if you need a shoulder to cry on. Thank you, Viola. I appreciate that. For now, is there anything you can tell us about the gun Matthew found? Well, the blood on this firearm is a match for Charlie, which means you found the murder weapon. It also means the killer was standing right in front of him when he was shot. Additionally, we mustn't jump to conclusions, but there's something else about this gun, Matthew. What is it, Viola? I checked the serial number of this particular model, and, well, it belongs to Rose. What? Charlie was shot with Rose's gun? Are you saying she killed him? It cannot possibly be true, Matthew. Surely Rose didn't murder my husband. Let's speak to her at once. There must be an explanation for this. Oh my goodness.
It has more passenger space than a Toyota Highlander, plus better ratings than a Ford Explorer. And a stylish
Who would have thought?
Day with your kids or a night on the town.
Let's confront Rose now.
Honda Pilot is a KDB.com Best Buy 2018.
Matthew, tell me it isn't true. Has Charlie really been murdered?
Test drive a Honda today.
Do you really expect us to believe that you didn't know, Rose? Whatever do you mean, Maddie? How could I possibly have known? Because Charlie was shot with your gun! My gun? That simply cannot be right. How is that possible? Well, you tell us, Rose. Surely you don't think I had anything to do with this. I left my guns on the airship. Someone else must have stolen it after we were all captured. You must believe me.
Go hog wild and save. Inspiration.
Of course I want to believe you, Rose. You love Charlie as much as anyone else in the squad, but it's not that simple. I understand you have a job to do, Matthew. I'm here to help in any way that I can.
Due to storm water runoff, so good news there. That's a big surf heading our way.
Look at little George, Matthew, blissfully unaware that his father just died. I still can't believe someone killed him, and right now our only suspects are his closest friends. This makes no sense. Bontemps was charged with keeping Charlie safe, but he claims Charlie ordered him to stay away from the airship. Also, that Charlie could go meet whoever sent him that coded message. We've also discovered that the murder weapon is Rose's gun, but she insists it must have been stolen. And while we found Diego's calling card outside the airship, I can't imagine he would hurt Charlie. Matthew, we must redouble our efforts if we are to catch the scoundrel who murdered my husband. We should... Matthew, my apologies for the interruption, but in light of your investigation, I have something you need to hear. What is it, Constable Ramirez? We must follow any potential lead. Well, I think I saw Charlie right before he was killed. Does this mean Ramirez is a suspect now? We'll find out in Chapter 2. Don't go anywhere.
Here comes the next storm system, and it is
okay, folks, let's start Chapter 2 of Last Stand for Justice. And unfortunately, the victim is Charlie DuPont.
As we head to the weekend, we can see waves well over 30 feet for North Shore, so even bigger northwest swell. You can see by 4 p.m. those waves really start to build on Saturday. This is going to continue into Sunday.
Well, I heard the news about poor Charlie, that your husband is... You don't need to be evasive, Constable. Please get to the point. Well, I was out patrolling and I think I saw Charlie right before he was killed.
From now all the way to Sunday evening.
All right, Constable, catch your breath. I'll go hand George back to Lady Highmore, and then Matthew has some questions for you.
Aloha Friday as we head down towards Oahu, right around England, Kapolei. Starting out cool though. Middle 60s, we'll see morning sunshine, afternoon.
God, I hate to be Maddie right now, but I really hope that it is not somebody from the flying squad. Let's see what Ramirez has to say. So let's get this straight, Constable Ramirez. You're telling us you were in the airship prior to Charlie's murder? Oh no, Matthew. I never went to the airship. I saw him while I was out working the streets. You see, Lawson himself is in charge of our patrol routes now, and those Justice Corps fellows watch us like hawks. Why, just the other day... Constable, please, just tell us what you saw. Yes, of course. I was patrolling at the top of Concordia Tower when I came across Charlie. You said that already. He was startled when he saw me, and before I had a chance to speak to him, he packed up and left. What was Charlie doing at the top of the Concordia Tower, Matthew? He'd only mentioned going back to his lab. I agree. We must get to the tower platform immediately.
It has just finished today. They finished while we were on air, and what a day for a non-minute pair of Megune, pair of Moana Lua. I love your strong performances here at Brown Water. I'll tell you how they did later in Sports Plus. Conference home opener for the Rainbow Union basketball team, and first road test of the year for the men's volleyball team. Island Sports at 6 live from Wildlife Country Club is next. When I found out that the truth was finally gonna come out.
Truth or Lies, the Tanya Harding story.
Have you ever apologized to Nancy? Do not apologize.
Tonight at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
Attention Hawaii, although hockey is extending our viewing clearance because of record sales, over 75%.
Sometimes this game can break your heart with the characters you make, the characters you see. As I said earlier, in Grimsboro we lost Samuel King because he killed himself. Then in Pacific Bay we lost Frank in the final case.
Beat FedMart and make mattress shopping easy. Only FedMart can configure your mattress using our exclusive smart match technology.
And then in the World Edition, first we lost Michelle.
So get grand opening savings statewide. Beat FedSmart.
First we lost Michelle, then we lose Armand DuPont, and then we lost Angela because she was the mole from Sombra.
We will reduce my taxes while helping us save lives for people with kidney disease.
You know, what we...
What's not to like about donating a part of kidney funds?
It's one.
Sure.
1 in 7 people living with kidney disease feel like safe.
Michelle was killed and Armand DuPont was killed at the very end. Look, Matthew, that blueprint has Charlie's name written on it.
Guys, as we age, we all have problems with our head.
Oh, Charlie, whatever did you come up here for? Good idea, Matthew. We'd be wise to gather up those green fragments.
We have a very high success rate, often with just one visit. I'm Dr. Carl.
And is that a ration kit? Richard told us that Charlie's killer consumes ration biscuits. Perhaps his box belongs to them. When I get my hands on that rotten scoundrel, they will wish they were never born.
More Hawaiian businesses choose Hawaiian Telecom to provide.
Forgive me, Matthew. Losing my temper won't bring Charlie back, but searching through this ration box might offer us a new lead.
The rate of internet, that's 5 times faster than the cable company for just $59.99 a month. Bundled with high-quality voice service for $29.99 a month. Take advantage
Well, it's just when I thought Charlie and Maddie would enjoy a life together
faster than the cable company.
as co-workers and husband and wife. This happens. You just never know.
Welcome back out here live to Wildlife Country Club site of this year's Sony Open in Hawaii. We're mentioning it all show long. At 7 o'clock this morning, round 1 did tee up right here at Cable 1.
You know, State Council says
There we go.
debt is going up, partly because of destruction charges. You may be familiar with the phrase, you'll shoot your eye out even from a movie, A Christmas Story.
But it is a real problem. Still had on Islanders at 6. Another episode is injuring your eyes with guns. It's Starlight. The photograph
Beat the Trumpet is sponsored by T-Trek Insurance.
Dude, the other money you saved me on auto insurance? What if I want a jetpack?
There we go.
That's crazy.
5 pellets.
Okay, realistic.
Tarnation, Matthew. Even after removing those green pellets from Charlie's contraption is. One thing is certain, the message on it was left by Charlie. His terrible penmanship is unmistakable. He wrote, "I refuse to build this monstrosity for you." So he wanted nothing to do with whatever this is. But then who gave him this blueprint? You're right. The answer might be in those pellets you found on the blueprint. Let's get them under a microscope.
We are emergency medical services.
We are there
Right.
for your emergencies.
Hawaii's 20 EMS units responded to more than 86,000 of your emergencies last year. We are EMS. We are there for your emergencies.
When you drive, you have a responsibility for the safety of everyone in your vehicle, including
rat food. Oh, it's for Rose.
Don't pass on the donuts in your love.
Those green pellets you collected from Charlie's blueprint are rat food, Matthew. Fancy ratties, to be precise.
Where you stand and make sure all your
Wait, that's the kind of food Rose feeds to rat sputed. Could she be the one who asked Charlie to build whatever this monstrosity is? Charlie was never one to use strong language, Matthew, so it's clear he was vehemently opposed to these plans. And although he cannot tell us what all of this is about, Rose certainly has some explaining to do.
At 6.
It's time you gave us some straight answers, Rose. We found Charlie's blueprint. You were arguing about something. Why, that... I can explain, Matthew. This blueprint was for an explosive device I had designed, but Charlie refused to help me build it. An explosive device? You mean like a bomb? Precisely. According to my specifications, we could have rigged the device in an area frequented by LAWSON, detonating it remotely when he was in the vicinity. We could have ended LAWSON's reign of terror and oppression with a single well-planned explosion. But Charlie wouldn't listen. Resorting to violence wasn't an option. He argued. Resorting to violence wasn't an option, he argued. Of course he did, Rose. Regardless of Lawson's oppressive rule, murder is never the answer. People are suffering at the hands of Lawson, Maddie. Many are... Eat these blasted ration biscuits, like me. The time for diplomacy is over.
The year the dog begins February 16th and ends February 4th, 2019.
That's where you're wrong. It's times like these when our steadfast integrity is needed most. If you resort to violence, Rose, you're no better than Lawson.
The diversity is part of diversity, and really just celebrating the culture of the Chinese calendar.
Rose,
It was
she's got one black mark against her.
Released the last one for the year the boar will be released in 2019.
We come back and recap of today's top headlines.
If there's somebody I am hoping that is the killer, my guess would be Diego.
We've got a lot to get to tomorrow morning on Good Morning Hawaii.
That's right, tomorrow Friday, and we're previewing this weekend's Island Stuff.
Ross McKenzie is off, so I'll be live on location at the Japanese Cultural Center to preview the Ohana Festival.
And weather and traffic right here on Good Morning Hawaii.
Island News is sponsored by Hawaiian Telecom.
Tiny little piece.
As a Friends of Hawaii Charities volunteer, I have some news you can use. Give aloha to your favorite Hawaii charity January 14th at friendsofhawaii.org, and you will give your gift a boost through the Sunday opening Hawaii.
Matthew, I'm trying not to lose heart, but it's hard. It's not like finding his killer will ever bring my darling husband back. Oh, but I see you found something in the ration kit. You're right, that small pin is spotted with blood. Matt, we owe it to Charlie to pursue every line of inquiry. Let's send this pin to Viola and see what she can make of it.
Eating better, moving more, stressing less, and improving relationships. The staff at ACAHI can help you reverse heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, lose weight, and decrease your medications. For a healthier, happier new year, call them today.
Is this 12 hours? Yes, it is. But I've already gotten 4 stars. So, as a little treat for you guys, I'm going to speed this up now. So I can get to the next one.
It could be a furry fish, cute chicks, rabbits, or even a puppy.
There we go.
Shall we go together?
Bugs flying around. Your instincts for finding clues are still as sharp as the day you first arrived at the flying squad, Matthew. This red needle you found in the ration box is of vital importance.
It's the modern utility prospect with sweet.
Finally, some good news, Viola. What did you find out? To begin with, the traces of blood are a match with Charlie's type, confirming the needle was left in the box by his killer. As for the object itself, it's a compass needle, which means Charlie's killer uses a compass. Not to make light of a grave situation, but you're certainly headed in the right direction now that you know the killer uses a compass. That we are. Matthew, let's maintain our momentum and return to where we know the killer has been, the airship landing pad.
To get to the North Shore Pipeline, the backdoor shootout, some great shots by Terry Reese today. Looking good out there, some pretty big waves, and we're continuing to watch the potential for some more long.
Again, this is very, very hard to see. To see that photo like that of Maddie just about to burst in tears.
Wants to eat you there.
Just makes you wish that they just would, if the people who made this game would just leave the team alone. See, I got myself 4 stars there, so I'm okay.
We'll see temperatures for tomorrow warming up into the lower 80s. We'll keep that through the weekend. Light winds will be around, and we'll keep those trades.
Thanks, Pete, and welcome back out here live to Wildlife Country Club. Round 1 of this year's Sony Open in Hawaii has just wrapped up. Remember, it wrapped up 40 minutes ago while we were on air, and just in the nick of time, guys. Look at how dark it got within that last time that we went on air. And of course, the 144 golfers that are taking part in round 1, all trying to fight for their share of $6.2 million. And all trying to make their way onto this level of champions and after 1 round of golf.
Hold on. Okay, there.
Experience the bold, crispy, mouth-watering flavors Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen is serving up in each and every bite, providing closed captioning for TV Island News. TV is Devil TV Sports and
There we go, Charlie's Journal. Gold watch. Oh, Charlie.
Tell you what, I'll raise you. Fine. Get your value, Jacksonville.
19.
Like I tell Jacksonville. Legendary.
Such as sexual abuse in the first degree, how do you find? We find the defendant guilty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the state of New York. Thank you.
We'll come back anytime soon.
Oh dear, Matthew. That's Charlie's journal. I'd recognize it anywhere. This is one of his most prized possessions. As painful as it will be, we should open this journal. It might hold some answers. That pocket watch, on the other hand, I don't remember ever seeing that before, even though it was clearly a gift to Charlie. You're right. Perhaps decoding that inscription etched on the back will help us trace whoever gave Charlie this watch. Holding his belongings in my hand like this, Matthew, it's hard to believe my precious Charlie is actually gone. We can only hope these can help us catch his killer.
Detectives who investigate suspicious felonies are members of an elite squad.
Okay. Now,
These are their stories.
Charlie's journal now. Seven, 9, 7, 7, 9. Okay. First one. 9, 7, 6, 7, 6. There we go. Okay. 6, 4, 7, 6, 9. There we go. That did it.
Make sure you get them all real fast. They're specific.
Oh, Matthew, just look at what Charlie's written in his final journal entry. It's all about George and I. Here I am, a husband and a father. Who would have ever dreamed it was possible? I'm the luckiest man in the world. We have such a bright future before us. I'm more excited than I could have imagined. I have so many plans. Oh God. Oh gosh. From newlywed to widow in a matter of weeks. That sucks. I shall treasure this book forever, Matthew, but I will have to read the rest another time. It's far too painful right now. Oh, you're right. There's a faded message attached to the opposite page of Charlie's journal. If you feel it will be helpful, I'll let you retrieve what it is written. What is written?
Can I help you? What BD? All payroll inquiries must be submitted by fax or regular mail.
It's not about payroll.
Well, then maybe my supervisor.
I don't think you want your supervisor involved.
Remember me? My name is Lucky.
Seriously? How about that stuff save you trip to bank? Let's go for it.
This message attached to Charlie's journal was written by someone else, Matthew. This isn't his handwriting. The message reads, "You can never tell Maddie about this, Charlie," and it's been signed with a strange wolf symbol. Dash my wig, Matthew, you're right! That emblem is Diego's trademark signature. Del Lobo, the wolf. What could Charlie possibly have known that Diego would not want me to find out about? This is very strange, Matthew. We need to talk to Diego again.
Because it's the deal with more variety than ever. With 8 different sandwiches to choose from, plus nuggets, fries, and a drink. So choose a double stack, or the crispy chicken sandwich, or a grilled chicken go-rack, or the junior bacon cheeseburger, or any of these others. Whatever you choose, you still get this much food.
Just once, I'd like the whole team to be intact.
Taste what makes the new 4 for $4. Looks the difference.
Diego, we found this note of yours in Charlie's journal. What is it you're hiding from me? Oh dear, I knew I should have written that note in Morse code. Well, you see, the truth is, oh, I might as well admit it. Charlie discovered I was in love with you. In love with me? Come now, you've always been a flirt, but I knew you weren't serious. But for a time, you were indeed the object of my heart's affection. The dreadful love poems I wrote, like my compass, you are the light that guides my heart. One night, after a few too many wines, I let the truth slip to Charlie. Naturally, I panicked, thinking he might tell you. But you must believe me, I'd rather choke on my ration biscuits than threaten your marriage. That's very sweet of you, Diego. You should have just admitted your feelings. The last thing we need right now are more secrets. Now he's running.
Having everyone working together on the Teams app.
Diego will be my guess for who the killer is. Gold watch inscription right now.
Family
592-187-640. Got it. I'm as eager as you are to know who gave this pocket watch to Charlie, Matthew. Let's get that decoded sequence of digits to Evie, post haste. Once again, this is 12 hours. And I'll see you guys. I'll have all stars collected. I'll see you all then. Okay, folks, we have returned. Let's get the results of the serial number right now. Have you managed to trace the origin of Charlie's pocket watch, Evie? Well, Maddie, I do have an answer for you, but I don't think you're going to like it. I used that serial number to track down the watchmaker where the pocket watch was purchased. Unfortunately, the buyer was anonymous. You're right. That isn't the answer I wanted to hear. Well, there's more. I did get the watchmaker to give me the text of the original engraving, which wasn't for Charlie. The message was meant to read, "Thank you for all your years of faithful service," but it was changed at the last minute. Thank you for all your years of faithful service? That makes it sound like Charlie was being fired. Did the chief plan on firing Charlie from the squad? Matthew, we need to talk to him, and he'd better have a good explanation for this. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. So I told Kama-san, it's better like if you go out, then everybody go home right after. But if we didn't like bring in food, don't go inside. Everybody
currently under a limited energy happy hour. It's only for another 8 minutes. My dearest Madeline, how are you? Is there anything I can do to help?
That takes long.
Well, you could explain why you intended to fire Charlie.
Well, of course, it's still only.
Oh dear, you found out about that. I didn't actually go through with it, but Charlie was about to be a father, and the squad was in ever-increasing danger. I thought it might be safer for him to retire. Retire? You mean get fired? Did you even talk about it with him? Did you plan to fire me too? We're all in danger, Chief, but the squad, this team, they were Charlie's life. He loved us all, and...
Oh, yeah.
And he literally gave his life for us. Which is precisely the eventuality I was trying to prevent. You have to believe me, Madeline, I only have your best interest at heart. Speaking of which, you really ought to eat something. Sit down for a moment and have a ration biscuit. I've been eating a few from Bontemps' tin.
So then, by the time you stay and clean up and stuff, then it's another half hour, Oh no, usually we don't sit down. But when we clean up, we just clean up.
Matthew, Charlie's murder has brought to light a lot of things he wasn't telling me. Secrets kept by our very own friends and colleagues.
Right now, now we're more conscious about it.
Chief Wright was ready to dismiss Charlie from the flying squad, claiming it was for his own safety and protection. Then there's Diego, claiming he let it slip to Charlie that he used to be in love with me. And what was Charlie doing at the top of Concordia Tower, where Constable Ramirez claims to have seen him? So far, one terrible thing is becoming clear, Matthew. Whoever Charlie's killer is, it must have been someone at the flying squad.
So now most of the time,
I almost don't want to know who would be capable of such an awful betrayal.
Yeah, so we all try to, really be aware
But
of
the
it.
grim reality is we...
I don't know. Yeah, well, she's gonna...
Madeline, Senior Trooper Matthew, you need to hide, quickly!
So,
Hide? Whatever for, Lady Highmore. What's going on? That dreadful little lackey of Lawson, Judge Umbright, she just called me. She's coming over.
Wherever, yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
This case can break your heart sometimes.
Oh, no,
We'll see you guys for Chapter 3.
But anyway, we are going out.
Alright, let's start Chapter 3 of Last Stand for Justice.
Oh, okay, see you then. Okay, bye-bye.
And we also just found out that Judge Umbright is paying us to visit.
Should we make a sense of 30 for Dad, Samantha?
That dreadful little lackey of Lawson's, Judge Umbright, she just called me. She's coming over. What? Matthew, if Umbright finds us here, she'll call the Justice Court. Which is precisely why you need to hide. All of you get into the war room, now. We cannot hide. We need to find Charlie's killer. Lady Highmore, please take George and make sure the team stays in the war room. Umbright cannot see them. Senior Trooper Matthew and I will go back to the airship. We need to take another look at Charlie's lab.
Now, ESU, they made 3 passes. No, we've only been at it. I called the phone. Still don't know the name?
Yeah, Broadway producer. They want Tony's to show the news.
Man. Man.
You wouldn't go anywhere without Fraudo.
Now listen to me. Where was the last place you saw the photo?
Here. I'm sitting right here.
Did you see anybody around? Are you in charge?
Like, who's in charge around here? My daughter's been kidnapped.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Figure out, there's nothing to figure out. But here she is, been kidnapped.
No, this will be right. They'll find her. I know she will. They'll find her.
Is my body that I can fucking sorry at it?
To block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to both joint and skin symptoms. It's proven to help relieve pain, stop further joint damage, and clear skin in many adults. Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for psoriatic arthritis.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis, serious sometimes fatal infections, and cancers, including lymphoma, as of blood, liver, and nervous system problems. Serious allergic
DNA
reactions,
machine.
and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've
Oh, there's another clue there.
hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Want more proof? Ask your rheumatologist.
Of course, I was under unlimited energy happy hour, but I had no intention of moving any further or spending any more cash.
Yeah, let's go. What's on? Let go. Hey, I'll take it.
It's time to snap those jackets. So it's time to let go.
Known for its perfect storm of tiny bubbles.
Nice.
It has long been called the Shimmer.
You got the time.
Welcome to the Nightlife.
We got the beer. Diller beer.
For me here as a woman.
Thursday.
I'm not bad, right?
Oh no,
I'm not bad, right?
Right.
I mean, these two guys aren't bad, right?
No.
Is this bad? Is that guy?
Personally, I'm hoping that Diego's the killer.
Is it mad? Do you even care?
Matthew, I'm so worried. What if Judge Umbright finds a team and arrests them? What will become of my son?
I guess there really is no good way to say goodbye.
Yes, I know. The faster we gather clues, the faster we can go back and make sure everyone's alright. Look. It's Charlie's DNA machine. He was so proud of his invention at the World Exhibition.
When you book a flight, then add a hotel, be safe.
Oh, Charlie.
It was the other way around.
But you're right, Matthew. The machine's damaged. Maybe a sample of that yellow substance could tell us more. And Charlie's locker might uncover more secrets if we can open it, as might that torn photograph. Let's take all this back to Lady Highmore's and hope we don't run into Umbre.
Strong in a new Chevy truck. Get a total value of $600 on this Silverado All-Star when you finance with GM Financial.
Matthew, Madeline, you're back. I was worried you'd be caught. Where's George? Is he okay? Of course. He's sleeping. I tasked that fellow of yours, Richard, with looking after him. Judge Umbright is having tea in the main salon. I thought she'd ferret around, but she's just prattling on about me performing jury duty.
Sunday, Funny Sunday, every Sunday this January on Sundance.
I bet you she's up to no good. Something like that. I really hate it when the mouse just double clicks for me and I only do it once.
I thought this only happened in South America. We're not just supposed to call the FBI or something? Only after a ransom request.
Alright, I got a few stars. Let's get the DNA machine now. And I did upgrade to level 447. Let's hand this yellow liquid you collected from the damaged DNA machine to Viola. If this sample will help lead us to Charlie's killer, we haven't a moment to lose.
Prescriptions. So no matter where you're going, or who you are, it's worth the trip. We'll help you find low-cost prescriptions, including $0 copays on select Medicare Part D plans. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Attention women with breast cancer. Have you suffered from hair loss following chemotherapy? When you were told it was a temporary side effect, but instead, your hair loss was permanent. Call 1-800-640-9700. The manufacturer may be liable, and you may be entitled to financial recovery. If you or a loved one suffered permanent hair loss after breast cancer chemotherapy, call 1-800-640-9700 now. 1-800-640-9700. Hi, I'm Joe London. Today's senior is and nobody understands your options like the advisors at a place for mom.
Matthew, the woman in that photograph, that's Bernadine Rochester, the chief's lady love. And there's a message from Lawson. Toe the line, Chief, or I'll have her head.
To get your free ebook on finance and senior care.
Lawson threatened to harm Bernadine if Chief Wright didn't follow his orders? That man is despicable. Matthew, I can't believe the Chief would betray us, but we must figure out exactly how much of a grip Lawson had on him. Let's talk to Chief Wright now.
$400 cash. $400. What was the stuff with? Oh wait, 3 minutes to take the escalator down.
Chief, we found the photograph Lawson sent you. We know he threatened Bernadine. Give me that, Matthew. I tore that horrid thing up for a reason. As soon as Lawson realized the flying squad would not willingly take part in his regime of terror, he resorted to coercion, the wretch. As a result, he's been sending me orders in Morse code demanding daily reports on the squad's activities. And what did you tell him? Nothing, or as little as I could without risking my dear Bernadine's life. Wait, is that why you wanted to fire Charlie? Lawson ordered you to? Yes. He started distrusting everyone at the squad, but you already know I didn't do it. My integrity is as true as my compass. The only thing I know is that someone killed Charlie, and wanting to protect a loved one gives you a perfect motive, Chief. He's in the running now. Alright. I added the share of the coins. One. 1, 2, 8, 1, 2.
Where's your card? 62nd Street. 63rd.
8, 2, 1, 2, 9.
Is the little girl dead, man? Is that something going on before you could write the last one up? Why did you take her? What did you write to? Wasn't your wife?
Searching through Charlie's locker has brought back so many bittersweet memories, Matthew. I can't believe I'll never see him playing horseshoes or reciting from his favorite book again. But what's this you found inside? An article from the Louisiana Ledger. How would Charlie have come upon this? This is decades old. Wait a moment. Look at this headline. Jacob Bontemps killed in tragic accident. Bontemps? This must have been one of Isaac's relatives. I don't know what this is all about, Matthew, but we need to talk to Bontemps.
We didn't kidnap him. Really? Well, what did they do? Invite him home and play with your dog? Where is she?
Isaac, Matthew was searching through Charlie's lab, and we wanted to ask you about Jacob Bontemps. How did you... I told Charlie to destroy that article. Why? Who is Jacob Bontemps? What are you hiding, Isaac?
Nobody cares. Nobody gets convicted. So we rescued the children ourselves.
Very well, Matthew. I suppose I shall have to tell you the whole sordid tale. Jacob was my little brother. He died when I was only a small boy. He and I were thick as thieves. We used to communicate in Morse code so nobody else could understand us. I taught him everything I knew, like how to make a fire or how to use a compass. Until one day, we went horse riding together. I wasn't scared of horses back then. I should have been. I got cocky. I wanted to impress Jacob, so I made the horse rear up, and the beast went wild. My baby brother got trampled under the horse's hoofs. There was nothing anyone could do to revive him. Oh, Isaac, is it any wonder you fear horses so? I never forgave myself. I've been hiding the shame of that day ever since. And then Charlie found that article. I imagine it must have opened a lot of old wounds, Isaac. Yes, I was so humiliated having to explain all of this to Charlie, but I would never have murdered him over this. Madeline, you have to believe me. would want to, but you're in the running now, Isaac. The unfortunate part is, I don't know now if Diego is the killer.
Samantha's my daughter. She wasn't kidnapped.
Is my thought correct?
Mrs. Silver, your daughter was abducted from a department
We'll
store.
find out.
Her husband's legal custody.
We'll let the yellow liquid run its course. I'll see you all when that's done.
Commission currently has sole commission-approved raises.
Okay, we have returned. Let's get the results of the yellow liquid. With the DNA machine out of commission, Matthew, my analysis of that liquid has been limited. Richard is busy repairing it right now. Nevertheless, I have identified the substance in question, which turns out to be pineapple juice. Pineapple juice? How did that get onto the DNA machine? Charlie hated pineapples and... Wait, Matthew. Constable Ramirez is always making a mess around the airship, spilling his canned pineapple all over the place. Ramirez never mentioned anything being anywhere near the airship at the time of the murder. What on earth was he up to in Charlie's lab? It's time we ask the constable a few more questions, Matthew.
Tanita says states with modern systems like Washington and Oregon have had more success with voter turnout. Common Cause believes Hawaii should get on board.
Because of the threats from North Korea, hundreds of military, government, and business leaders heard from experts about the growing threat during an annual Military Affairs Council meeting at Washington.
Constable Ramirez, you had better have a good explanation about what you were doing in Charlie's lab and why you didn't tell us you were there in the first place.
Pursuing nuclear missile technology.
And there's no sense lying. Matthew found Charlie's broken DNA machine, which we believe you damaged. Oh no, I knew I shouldn't have lied, Matthew. I'm so sorry. The truth is, I received direct orders from LAWSON himself earlier today to guard the airship. Nobody was allowed in or out, and I was to send hourly updates in Morse code. As I stood watch outside the airship, I got curious, then scared. Finally, I ventured inside.
But he did say diplomacy works best when backed by a strong will.
Another threat had people concerned as
I searched all the offices and labs, but the place was deserted until I found Charlie. He was dead. I panicked and ran, knocking over the DNA machine as I fled the scene. I would have gotten lost if it wasn't for my compass. I was in such a frenzy.
Now we're all vulnerable to a cyber.
I hope for your sake you're telling the truth now, Constable. Charlie's killer will have no mercy for me.
Personal online information.
According to
It's
the
not
Wall
him.
Street Journal, an attorney for President Donald Trump paid off a porn star to keep her quiet.
Oh, Matthew, I keep hoping I'll wake up from this nightmare and Charlie will still be alive.
Stephanie Clifford, also known as Stormy Daniels, in 2000.
But this is also horribly real. My husband was murdered by one of his closest friends.
2016 presidential election, preventing her from going
I
public.
don't think it's Diego now.
Denies any relationship. Clifford
Matthew, good news. Judge Umbright has just taken her leave. You can all come back up now. Thank God. I was so worried she might have been up to... Matthew, Madeline, little George, the baby. Uh-oh. What is it, Richard? What's happened to George? Umbright took the baby.
The president was angry when told the possible.
What? My baby?
Why are we having all these people from expert countries come here? End quote.
Now, some Republican lawmakers that were
This
in
case
that
is getting
meeting
worse and worse.
heard the president make that comment.
Madeline!
For one Democrat, speaking out.
Oh, man.
In Hawaii, we learn about, and I believe in what's
Matthew, I think she's coming around.
and what that really means in a
Madeline, are you all right?
Showing respect to others, no matter their race, no matter their religion.
How could I possibly be all right? My baby's been kidnapped.
Education is anything else.
How could you, Richard? You were supposed to be watching him. How did Umbright even get to George?
And frankly, the values that our country
Well,
represents
little George
and
needed a
stands
clean
on.
nappy, so I snuck into the upstairs bathroom and...
Also using her sound On CNN,
I only left him alone for a second, just enough time to get talcum. When I turned around, I saw Umbright running away, clutching George.
our Department of Education's continues.
And you just let her take my baby? Why didn't you chase after her?
Bananas in public schools. Last month, they served
Of course I went after her, but she hopped into an automobile and sped off. Oh, I'm such an idiot.
The food services break to the DOE.
Matthew, I have to rescue my son. I can't. I have to drop everything. This investigation.
Either banana pie or banana pie.
And yet Charlie's murderer is out there walking free. Charlie will want me to look for George, but maybe I should.
Farmers, researchers, and agronomists with local technology innovators to
Oh, Matthew, I don't know what to do.
solutions to problems that affect the state's agriculture.
Madeline, the others can help me look for George, but you and Matthew are the only ones who can solve Charlie's murder.
Them and award mentorship opportunities and cash prizes.
Very well. I will focus on catching Charlie's killer, but so help me, Richard, you had better find George unharmed, or I will. No, you're right, Matthew. We've no time for this. We must continue our hunt for Charlie's killer. Let's return to Concordia Tower.
Except elements.
Randy Higgins here. Time for sports.
Some drama Lonnie action. One in. To round 2. And why like them people?
That's right. Honolulu John lone mobile to make the cut for this year's Sony Open, and yes, it came at the very end. Dramalanis of the day, plus another guy who loves the golf. Big weekend for Hawaii's Marcus Mariota in the NFL. He caught up with the coach in the 808. Who got it there? Iowa Sports at 10 is next.
Spectrum Enterprise, your nationwide provider of scalable fiber network and cloud solutions.
How do you make the internet better for everyone? You make it faster for all. Introducing a true revolution in internet speed from Spectrum. Game-changing new starting speeds of 200 megabits. That's double our previous.
Seriously, how could Dick let it go? All it takes is just 1 second for someone to pull something off.
A faster, more reliable network for today and for whatever.
Charlie's goggles.
Spectrum.
Ashtray.
Chance to save big on 2017 Nissans like Road Sport, featuring Nissan Intelligent Mobility with available cross-traffic
Candy cane, wheelbarrow,
automatic emergency braking, which can detect potential final collision.
cocktail shaker.
Safely. Automatic emergency braking. Guaranteed savings on the last of the 17s. And lease the Road family starting at just $159 per month. Or get 0% for 72 months on 13 models.
Why don't you use the word accident?
There are very few true accidents. Car crashes are caused by someone choosing not to follow the rules of the road.
Matthew, my little darling needs me. We must find Charlie's killer soon so I can help search for him.
Crash is no accident. It's a direct result of someone's selfish choice.
What's that you found? Oh dear, those are Charlie's goggles. The only way these could possibly have gotten here is if they were discarded by his killer.
LYSlaw.com.
You're right. There are some white fibers caught in those goggles, Matthew. Let's take a sample. And I really hope we find something useful in that ashtray. Every second longer puts my son in more danger.
Stop for pedestrians at crosswalks. Don't drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, including prescription drugs. Wear your seatbelt and make sure all your passengers are properly secured. This message brought to you by the Hawaii Police Department.
I take care of everyone. It's who I am. My kids, my mom, aunties, my sister. It never ends.
Do everything right now.
I got depression too. Say it's because I put myself last. Always doing something for someone else. Maybe it's time to do something for me. Time to admit maybe I had something.
A bullet shell casing.
For good. It's my time and it's my call.
Is that a blood-stained shell casing? Is that at the bottom of the ashtray, Matthew?
The cut in this year's Sony Open in Hawaii.
Do you think, could it have been part of the bullet that killed Charlie? Might the killer have picked it up and discarded it here? It sounds like a long shot, but a long shot is all we've got. Let's get the shell casing to Viola, post-haste.
And finish the day at 2 under par. That's right, on the cut line. One little grad who just turned pro 5 months ago, shot a 68 yesterday, 71 today.
It feels good. Step one's done, but I gotta figure a few things out for tomorrow, get ready for tomorrow.
And what is that? What do you need to do for tomorrow?
Just a couple of tee shots. You know, I did a hit too many fairways today, which makes it very hard to score out of the rough, and that's what I'm gonna work on. I'm out there really having fun. At the same time, I got a job at hand. And
par. This was Harmon for birdie at the third hole today.
I just got the white threads. I got 8 energy in total. If those fibers you collected off of Charlie's goggles can tell us anything more about his killer, we must learn it at once. Let's get the sample to Viola.
Defending Super Bowl champion Patriots tomorrow. And what a couple of weeks it's been for Hawaii cornerbacks.
Who is going to be
the killer? Tua Tagovailoa got Alabama another national championship trophy. Mackenzie Milton led Central Florida to an undefeated season of 13-0. So besides repping the 808, what do all of these guys have in common? Alex Sports reporter MG Montemeo are ready to find out.
So that will do. But first of all, taking a look. Well, let's see here. Well, fortunately, the fact that it's a flying squad member is not a part of the attributes. Unfortunately, technically yes it is, but it is not one of the clues. Ration biscuits, Morse code, and compass. Those are the 3 so far. Bontemps is in the running. Diego's in the running. Rose is not. Not Constable Ramirez. But Arthur Wright is also in the running. So it is down. To Bontemps, Diego Del Lobo, and Arthur Wright. Either way, this will not be a pretty outcome. We'll find out what happens. We'll find out what happens when both of these have run their course. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. Okay, and we'll get the results of the bullet shell casing right now. My dear Madeline, how are you holding up? Well, Viola, my husband has been murdered and my baby boy has been kidnapped. How do you think I'm holding up? Yes, well, of course. In any case, I've examined that shell casing you found, and I can confirm that the blood is a match for Charlie's. Additionally, I discovered a number of hair fragments, blood, or to be more precise, facial hair. They must have wiped off with the killer's fingers. Whoever dared kill my husband, their guilt will be written all over them. All over their face, Matthew. Facial hair. I know this won't put your minds at ease entirely, Maddie, but the team won't rest until little George is safe. That's hardly reassuring, Viola, given that one of them murdered my husband. And in that regard, have you found anything? In fact, I have. The fibers themselves are white threads, which I at first assumed were from a piece of white clothing or material. However, upon closer examination, the fibers are actually torn from a seam, the kind of threads that hold a garment together. This leads me to conclude Charlie's killer, whoever they are, is wearing ripped clothing. Ripped clothing? Well, that's fitting, Matthew, considering the killer tore my life apart. But when I have them, I'll tear them limb from limb. I don't know if I can do this, Matthew. I can't stop thinking about my baby. What's that horrible woman doing to him? No, you're right. I must see this through. I need to look my husband's killer in the eyes and make sure they are punished for their crime.
Those are just stories you told us. And you've been a sex worker for how many years now? Objection.
Sustained.
No?
In fact, we only been working together for a short time before he was arrested.
Wait. Hold on. No, it's not Rose.
Okay. And you've been helping.
And it's not Ramirez. And it isn't Arthur Wright.
See, and Sergeant Benson should personally prevail upon me.
It looks like I was right. It was Diego. Diego, it was you. You killed Charlie? You killed Charlie? Oh no. Madeline, You lured into the lab with that coded message, setting a trap for premeditated murder. It's not what you think, just listen. Quiet, Diego. You shot him dead with Rose's gun in cold blood. Then you hid the bullet casing at the top of Concordia Tower. Please, Madeline. How could you, Diego? He was your friend, my husband, the father of my child. Please, Maddie, you must let me explain. Yes, I did kill Charlie, but it didn't happen the way you think. The truth is, Charlie and I have been working together. We had devised a plan to apprehend Justin Lawson to end his ruthless regime once and for all. Are we just supposed to take your word for it? Why wouldn't you tell the rest of the squad? Why wouldn't Charlie tell me? Charlie wanted to, believe me, but I begged him to keep it secret. The more people knew, the more chances Lawson might have heard about it. That's what that note you found was really about. When you asked me about it, I panicked and told you I was in love with you. I'm sorry. We knew that capturing Lawson would never be easy. The man is so elusive, his movements are known only by a select few. So Charlie, the genius that he was, developed a tracking device that I could plant on Lawson when the opportunity presented itself. What are you talking about? Justin Lawson had you fired from the squad. He wouldn't trust you in the least. That's correct. He would never trust Diego Del Lobo, but he did trust Eddie LeBold. I disguised myself and worked my way into his inner circle, building his trust so I could get close. But when you all got arrested, chaos ensued. I sent that coded message to Charlie. I knew I had to get the tracking device or all our efforts would have been wasted. But you killed him. How? Why? I never wanted to, but when I got to the airship, Charlie, thank goodness you received my message. Have you got the tracking device? Yes, my friend. Operation True Justice is good to go. Simply take this emitter and... What in the name of justice is going on here? Mr. LeBold, what are you doing with this traitor? Oh, Mr. Mayor. What are you doing here? I brought my troops to round up the flying squad, of course. They have defied me for too long. Now I repeat my question, Mr. LeBold. What were you doing here? Well, I was just about to arrest this man, as you ordered. Oh, really? What's that you're holding, Mr. DuPont? Nothing, I was just packing up my things. Do you take me for a fool? Mr. LeBold, this man has betrayed the city and is an enemy of the state. Shoot him! What? But... Surely, Mayor Lawson, arresting this man would be enough. He's clearly not a threat. Are you questioning my authority? The flying squad is nothing more than a bunch of lawless bandits. This is why I've ordered my troops to shoot them on sight, as I should have long ago. Shoot them on sight? But isn't there a young mother among them, sir? Your point being, if she and the others have conspired against me, then they all deserve death. Wait, they have nothing to do with this. I'm the rebel in the squad. I've been planning to detonate a bomb. Stand your henchmen down and just kill me. I knew someone in the squad was conspiring against me. Let it not be said I am unjust. The rest of the squad can live if the traitor dies. Mr. LeBold, kill this man this instant. But sir, there must be another way. Shoot him and do not miss, or I will have both your heads. You know this airship is surrounded by... Well, what are you waiting for, LeBold? Shoot, kill me, and save my wife and child. You know that is true justice. Please forgive me. Oh, gosh. And that right there, Charles DuPont was shot by Diego upon orders from Justin Lawson. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? Come, Mr. LeBold, you have proven your worth. Oh, Charlie. Charlie, how could you, Diego?
That's for egg donors.
You could have turned that gun on Lawson. You could have shot him instead.
That's a big pay gap. That's just really...
And doom you and the rest on the squad? Only Lawson could stop the Justice Corps from shooting you on sight. Charlie knew it. That's why he invoked True Justice, the name we'd given to our operation. He was begging me to kill him. By following Lawson's ghastly orders, I not only saved yours and George's life, as Charlie wanted me to, but I fully won Lawson's trust. That was a no-win situation there. I would have never gotten close enough to him to plant our tracking device otherwise, but don't think for a second I'm not burdened with guilt. If you were so full of remorse, why didn't you turn yourself in? Why all this charade, lying to our faces? When you came to me, I hadn't yet planted the device on Lawson. I despise lying to you, but I couldn't risk being locked up before I'd done what Charlie had asked me to do. But now my husband is dead, and our son has been kidnapped. What? George has been kidnapped? By whom? Maybe I can help. No, you can't. You're not getting anywhere near me or my family ever again, Diego. If I had things my way, I would deal with you myself, here and now. But unlike Lawson, we're not lawless savages. We've wasted enough time on you, Diego. For the time being, you'll be locked up until you can be properly tried and convicted. Right now, my son needs me. Let's go, Matthew. We must find George before it's too late. Oh boy. Who would have thought? This is the last case. Taking a look at the other ones. Rosal cleared early. Constable Ramirez was cleared from the start. Arthur Wright, no facial hair. Isaac Bontemps, no torn clothing. It was Diego Del Lobo under orders from Justin Lawson. We'll see if we can arrest Lawson in Final Judgment 6-6. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to. Hello, folks. Looks like I was right from the start. It was Diego that was the killer. Let's start Final Judgment 6-6 and see if we can overthrow Justin Lawson. Matthew, Diego's lucky I don't have time to waste on him. Else I would... Oh, I don't know what I'd do. I still can't believe he killed my Charlie. But there's no time for this now. We need to find George and rescue him. Matthew, I have news about George. Judge Umbright has made contact with the flying squad. Your son is unharmed, Madeline. Judge Umbright is waiting for us at Smokey's Cafe. If we want to get George back, the flying squad must surrender into her custody. We are not the bad people. We can't surrender ourselves. Umbright will simply hand us over to Lawson. Charlie would have died for nothing. Madeline, I think I have an idea of how we can get your son back without turning ourselves in. Oh, thank God. Matthew, I'll go talk to Rose. Come join us as quickly as you can. Matthew, while I realize the safe return of Madeline's son is paramount, I do wonder if we shouldn't talk to Diego. If his tale about Charlie's tracking device is true, it might be our only chance of stopping Lawson. Diego's been locked up in a guest room. I'll wait for you there. Talk to him now. Maybe there's a chance he can make things right. Matthew, I'm glad you came. Please, is there no way I can help? I won't lie, Diego. I stand here a very conflicted individual, under the circumstances, but there is one thing you can do to help. Tell us more about this plan of yours and Charlie's to apprehend Lawson, the one you shot Charlie for. I was telling the truth. Charlie's tracking device is your only hope of catching Lawson now. You see, Charlie's plan involves two components. One is an emitter, which I have managed to place on Lawson's person. Wherever he goes, the emitter will tell us. The other component is a location tracker, which receives the location coordinates transmitted from the emitter. Unfortunately, in my haste running from the lab, I dropped the tracking device. I imagine it's on the airship landing pad. Find that device, Matthew, and you can find Justin Lawson. Anything to bring down this prick. I know I can never make up for what I have done, but please don't let Charlie's sacrifice go to waste. Lawson must be brought down. I do hope your story checks out, Diego. Come, Matthew, to the landing pad. I know I have the mountain goat out, but I'm just going to go with it as is. Now we're there. Oh. I think I see it. There it is. I am glad it was not Isaac Von Temps. I hope you're right on those broken pieces. Turn out to be Charlie's tracking device, Matthew. Because we cannot afford to stay here a second longer. Let's hurry back to safety. Hold on, folks. Okay, broken device now. I restarted Google Chrome. Knowing that Charlie took a bullet for the team, I hope is going to put Maddie at ease. Thank goodness, Matthew. That device you have put together is undoubtedly Charlie's location tracker. However, the machine doesn't appear to be functioning. I do hope it's not damaged beyond repair. And alas, Charlie is not here to assist us. My word, Matthew, you're not seriously suggesting we permit Diego to examine this device? The man is yet to be tried for murder. Well, yes, I agree. He's the only one who knows how this device operates. Very well. But let's have Evie supervise his work as a precaution. Okay, now, let's talk to Rose about her plan. Rose, please! Richard says George is unharmed, but for how long? We cannot surrender ourselves to Judge Umbright, so what are you suggesting we do? Oh, I do intend to surrender, Maddie, but on our terms, not hers. I don't understand. Well, I'm still refining the plan, but for the time being, I wonder if you could bring me something that belongs to your baby. A toy, perhaps. I still have no idea what you're talking about, Rose, but there should be some of George's toys in Charlie's lab. I know it's dangerous returning to the airship, Matthew, but we have no choice. We had to save my child no matter what the cost. Oh boy. Okay, just finished. Charlie's lab is deserted, Matthew. It looks like the Justice Corps have been and gone. But we must hurry. They could return at any moment. Oh goodness, I recognize that box. Charlie made this for the baby as soon as we found out I was pregnant. Matthew, let's take this box back to Lady Highmore's manor and open it there. And again, I have this whole weekend because it is Martin Luther King Day coming up on Monday, so I don't need to speed anything up. There we go. Another 9 energy. A rattle. Look, Matthew, inside that box is an adorable rattle. Charlie must have made it for the baby. He was so excited. Let's send it to her at once. Okay, now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let the rattle run its course, but here's what I'll also do. I'm gonna speed up the location device. Matthew, I know things are complicated right now, but Diego's been a real help in repairing Charlie's tracking device. Well, I'm glad to hear of that, at least. Have you got it working again? Yes, the device can accurately pinpoint Lawson's location within a matter of meters. Unfortunately, his current position keeps moving. It's likely he is still on the hunt for us. I think it would be wise to wait for his location to stabilize, Matthew. You must be certain of his whereabouts if you want to apprehend him safely. Very well, we shall wait. Diego, I shall take you back to your room. I'm just glad I could help. Least I could do for Charlie. Okay, after the rattle is done, we will find out if we will apprehend Justin Lawson. Don't go on. Okay, welcome back. It's now time to get the results of the rattle and finish up this case. That rattle Charlie made for little George is just adorable, Madeline. I don't want to upset you by saying this, but he would have been a wonderful father. I know that, Rose. Thank you. The good news is this is just the thing I need to facilitate my plan. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I'm still confused, Rose. How is a rattle going to help us get George back from Judge Umbright's clutches? You see, Judge Umbright made it clear she'd wait for us alone. She probably wants all the glory of our capture for herself. And while she obviously won't let us carry any weapons with us, a baby's rattle will not arouse even the slightest suspicion. Which is why I have rigged this rattle to emit an electrical charge. Not enough to kill, just enough to incapacitate the judge. An electrical charge? Won't that harm my baby? George will already be safe and sound in your arms, Maddie. Trust me, my plan will work. Oh, I really hope you're right. Matthew, let's hurry to Smokey's Cafe to meet with Umbright and rescue my son. Let's rescue him. So you finally come to your senses, Senior Trooper Matthew. You're making the right decision, surrendering yourselves to me. It's not too late to come to your senses, Your Honor. Lawson needs to be stopped for the good of this city. Stopped? That wonderful man has dedicated his life to eradicating miscreants like you in Concordia. Now be good and put on these handcuffs. I can't risk you acting out, you understand. Just you listen, Umbright. You hand over my son this instant or so help me, you will regret you ever laid a hand on him. See, Senior Trooper Matthew, this just proves my point. Criminals, every last one of you. Now I shall turn over the flying squad and Mayor Lawson shall finally understand that I'm his most dedicated devotee. We're not going anywhere until you hand Maddie her son. You've got what you wanted. We're all here at your mercy. Indeed you are. I alone managed to bring the squad to its knees. Very well. Here, Miss O'Malley, take your child. Oh, thank heavens. George, you're safe now. Mummy is here. I was so worried. Yes, a very touching reunion. Now it's time I get you all behind bars. Pardon me, Judge, but I brought this rattle along with me for George. The little fellow is very upset. With your permission, I'd like to give it to him. Not so fast, Senior Trooper Matthew. Let me see that. A child's plaything. Very well. You may... Oh. Nice work, Rose. Our plan worked, Matthew. Judge Umbright has been incapacitated. Let's get a pair of these handcuffs on her before she comes around. We're all safe. I can't thank you enough, Matthew. You saved my child. Let's return to Lady Highmore's estate on the double. We need to get these shackles off, and after all she's been through today, Maddie should have something to eat and get some rest. Thankfully, there was a burger. I cannot thank you enough for rescuing my son, Matthew. George has finally calmed down. I am so relieved. And I've got more good news, Matthew. The emitter signal is stabilized. Lawson has positioned himself at the top of Concordia Tower. This is precisely the contingency Charlie wanted us to be prepared for, Matthew. We must strike while the opportunity presents itself if we are to arrest Justin Lawson. I shall come with you to Concordia Tower, Matthew. Couldn't have been happier. That I wouldn't make me have to refresh my Google Chrome. Handprints. Seahorse. Over this. Perfect. Blast, Matthew. This is undoubtedly the emitter transmitting the tracking signal, but there's no sign of Justin Lawson. So it was you who planted that emitter on me, Senior Trooper Matthew. Why am I not surprised? Lawson? You knew about the tracking device? I wasn't born yesterday, Senior Trooper Matthew. I found that contraption in my pocket after I had that LeBold fellow shoot Mr. DuPont. So you're admitting you're an accessory to murder. You ordered Charlie's death. Of course I did. He was an escaped criminal, a threat to our fair city. You're the threat. Justin Lawson, you're under arrest for your role in the murder of Charlie DuPont and for countless abuses of mayoral power. Your reign of terror is over. Reign of terror? Who do you suppose has been fighting those who are a blemish on Concordia, combating the corrupt leaders, keeping the gangs at bay? I have brought order and peace to this great city. I have once again made the streets of Concordia safe for all its citizens. It is I who have restored justice. And you could have helped me, Senior Trooper Matthew, but instead you chose to free convicted criminals, turning a blind eye to crime. Senior Trooper Matthew has done nothing but protect our citizens. From you, from your tyranny, Lawson. You become mad with power, censorship, public executions. You have been a scourge on this city, and it has gone on long enough. The Flying Squad has taken a stand on behalf of the people of Concordia and will tolerate it no more. No, Senior Trooper Matthew, that won't be happening. I'm afraid it's you all who are under arrest. Or better yet, perhaps I'll just end all of this business right here and now. Do you really intend on shooting us? Is that your definition of justice? You know nothing of justice. You have defied me for too long, Senior Trooper Matthew. I hereby sentence you to death. Gut bun temps. Matthew. Swift justice, as I like it. Now, Senior Trooper Matthew, do you have any last words? I don't know if Senior Trooper Matthew does, but I do. But how? I shot you in the heart. We're more resourceful than you think. He shot Lawson. Thank the stars for Rose's bulletproof vests, Matthew. I imagine neither of you gentlemen are wearing one. Don't shoot, Senior Trooper Matthew. We give up. We were just following Lawson's orders. We surrender. I do wish it hadn't come to that, Matthew, but so be it. I shall have a team come up and secure the area and remove Justin Lawson's body. As for the flying squad, let's regroup on the airship. Lawson is done. Matthew, I heard what happened. Is Justin Lawson really dead? Yes, he's dead. I would have rather arrested him, but he left us no choice. This is madness. To think when we first met Lawson, he was an ambitious district attorney, filled with ideals and bright hopes for the future. When he became judge, then deputy mayor, I truly believed he would be an asset to Concordia. The most tragic thing is, I do believe he thought he was defending the cause of justice, even while becoming a tyrant. In other circumstances, Justin Lawson could have been a great man. He would have had countless people killed if we hadn't intervened, and it's because of him that Charlie's dead. I can't say I shall mourn the man. Now, Madeline, the death of a man is nothing to rejoice about, but what's done is done, and now Concordia can finally rise again from the ashes. There's much to be done, between giving fair trials to everyone whom Lawson imprisoned, to overseeing the Justice Corps surrender, and helping the population recover. What's more, Lawson's death has created a power vacuum. It's vitally important that an interim mayor be instated as soon as possible to prevent further chaos. In fact, Bernadine suggested the name of an ideal candidate for the position, Lady Highmore. Lady Highmore as interim mayor? I dare say she does have the sufficient shrewdness and acumen the position requires, but I doubt she would have any interest in the position. Then it's up to us to convince her. Matthew, can you join me to have a word with Lady Highmore? There we are. Congratulations for ridding this city of that monstrous Lawson, Senior Trooper Matthew. 1,000 times, bravo. As you can see, I'm dreadfully busy trying to get my living room back to a living room again. I do apologize for the mess. Efforts to get Concordia back on its feet are happening all over the city, Lady Highmore, and we thought you might be able to help. Anything for you, Matthew. I'm always at the flying squad's disposal. Wonderful! As the only public office still standing, we would like to nominate you as interim mayor until a proper election can be held. Me? Mayor of Concordia? My word, that is a surprise. Naturally, a free and democratic election will be organized as soon as possible, but we believe you have the appropriate civic acumen to lead the city through these unstable times. My goodness! Well, why not? I've always done my best to be community-minded, and I can roll up my sleeves like the best of them. It will be an honor, Senior Trooper Matthew. Please, Senior Trooper Matthew, take this modest contribution towards getting the city back on track. Concordia needs the flying squad now more than ever. Is it? Yep. Well, Matthew, today is the day. It's time we said goodbye to my beloved Charlie. It is a solemn, bittersweet day indeed, but a small comfort can be found in knowing his sacrifice was not in vain. True, under Lady Highmore's temporary mayorship, our city is well on its way back to splendor. Not only has she completely dismantled the Justice Corps, But she's also ordered new trials for everyone in prison under Lawson's regime, including Giulietta and Enzo, who turned themselves in. As for Adelia Baldwin, there's no doubt she'll get a pardon. And she reinstated freedom of the press, Matthew. Catherine is printing the first edition of the Concordian Gazette as we speak. Charlie would have been glad to see this. He helps pave a better road for our son's future. Very well. I'm ready as I will ever be. We should head to the cemetery now for the ceremony. A fearless inventor, a dreamer driven towards the future, Charlie leaves behind a unique legacy at the Flying Squad. He shall be fondly remembered by all who knew him. So long, Charlie. Farewell, Charles Armand DuPont, our friend and comrade. We salute you. Madeline, we shall wait for you at the airship. Take as much time as you need. Well, it's just us now. Charlie. George is here too. I wanted to tell you, your plan worked. Thanks to your tracking device, Matthew was able to take down Justin Lawson. I'm proud of you. All of us are. Concordia is safe once again because of what you did. Now it's time to say goodbye, Charlie. But I'll come see you often, darling. I'll bring George too. I miss you, Charlie. From newlywed to widow in a matter of weeks. That sucks. Goodbye, my darling husband. I love you more than life itself. That's the worst feeling in the world. Thank you so much for your support yesterday, Matthew. I'm so grateful Charlie had all his friends there to bid him farewell. And I'm certain he wouldn't want me to wallow in sorrow, so I decided to start sorting through Charlie's things. However, I'm still rather apprehensive about going into his lab on my own. Would you mind helping me, Matthew? Not at all. So we have one more. So we have one more investigation to do. Of course, I do hate to see Madeline like this, but that sucks, really. From newlywed to widow and a... Then again, it's not the first time I have seen something like that happen. I've been dreading coming back to Charlie's lab, Matthew, expecting it to be too painful. But it's actually quite nice, being among all his inventions and contraptions again. It's almost as if Charlie is in here with us. What have you found there, Matthew? Oh, darn it. It looks like a film, I'll get your testing kit or something like that. Okay. real time. Okay. Now I have all stars. I do not have to worry about anything else. Charlie's Chronicles, film number 1. There we are, 6. That film label reads Charlie's Chronicles, film number 1. I had no idea Charlie was filming his own movies. Oh, Matthew, I need to go get George. He'll be so happy to see his papa on the screen. Please wait here. I'll be right back and we can watch it together. Of course, just once, I would really like a cute couple to stick around. Like Maddie and Charlie. Right, Matthew, I'm ready now to watch Charlie's film reel. Richard was kind enough to set up the projector. I wonder if George will recognize his papa's voice. Charlie used to read books to my belly when I was pregnant. Oh dear. I fear this may get me rather emotional, Matthew, but there's nothing for it. Let's watch the film. Hello, Maddie. Hi, future baby DuPont. Welcome to what I hope will be the first of many of these films. Short records that I call Charlie's Chronicles. I wanted to share with you some of the great stories from the Flying Squad so you can watch them when you're older. Matthew and I have had so many wonderful adventures. Like the time Richard set himself on fire, or the day Ramirez let all those birds loose in Coyote Gorge. Or when your mother and I pretended to be engaged to fool your grandma Eileen. Who would have thought we'd end up such a happy family? I just want you to know how happy I am, my baby, and how proud I am to be your father. And I'm working hard to make sure you can grow up in a happy city as well. My plan is daring, but Diego has been such a great friend through it all. He's taken so many risks to gain Lawson's trust, selflessly putting himself in the path of danger. I'm so glad to have him on my side. I'm sure you'll love him when you grow up too. Well, I should go now. Be good, my child, and always remember, I love you and your mother to the moon and back. Oh, Matthew, how wonderful to see my Charlie again. I wish he'd had the chance to film more of these. George, how much you would have loved your father. And clearly, he loved Diego. What he said about Diego putting himself in danger, Charlie really trusted him. I don't think I can ever forgive Diego for killing Charlie, no matter what the intentions. But maybe I should make my peace with him. Would you accompany me to Diego's cell, Matthew? I can't face him alone. This will be the last star needed. Let's speak to Diego before we get to the end of the case and the next series. Matthew, Madeline, what are you doing here? I was certain I would never see you again. I hadn't planned on seeing you again either, Diego, but I'm trying to do what Charlie would have wanted. I don't think I can ever forgive you for killing him, but I do understand why you did it, and I know he would not want me to hate you for it. I sincerely hope you'll receive a fair trial. I'll be ready to plead on your behalf, should there be a need. Oh, Madeline, I'm ever so grateful you came. This is all more than I could have hoped for. I'm prepared to be punished for what I did, and accept responsibility for my crime. I may not have wanted to kill Charlie, but it was I who pulled the trigger. I do hope this isn't goodbye, Matthew. What you and the flying squad did for me, you gave me a family. Please take this, Matthew, as a token of my gratitude and friendship. It was one of Charlie's last projects. Mechanical arm, same kind as Rose. Well, Matthew, things seem to be returning to normal in Concordia. Our city is a beacon of hope once again. I couldn't agree more, and as good as it feels to be back behind my desk, I decided the flying squad should take a well-deserved holiday. Bernadine and I will travel to Europe. We've both always wanted to see the French Riviera. A holiday? How marvelous! Marla mentioned taking her adopted children to the country. Maybe I shall accompany them, see how things go. Perhaps a good opportunity to rekindle things between you, right, Bontemps? I'm looking forward to spending more time with Catherine, Matthew. We're both busy setting up our own newspaper. I shall pay a visit to a doctor friend of mine in England. Victor has been conducting some fascinating experiments with cadavers. And I just started rehearsals for a new play by an up-and-coming playwright, a young fellow by the name of J.M. Barrie. Well, I'm going to take Rasputin to Switzerland. He'll love all the cheese. And what about you, Matthew? I've been reading Charlie's journal to George. My, how we've all been through so many incredible adventures together. Whatever you choose to do next, Matthew, I hope only good things await in your future. Don't forget about us. Next on Criminal Case. Return to Greensboro and uncover troubling secrets in the conspiracy. And that's going to do it. Hold on. Well, unfortunately I was cheated out of a couple hundred coins and 20 XPs, but it doesn't matter. That's it for this. That's it for Mysteries of the Past. And as we get onto the conspiracy, I am looking forward to it. Okay. The conspiracy has not happened yet. So thanks again for watching Mysteries of the Past with me. Despite I did have to do a case on the road. Because I was new to, because of my riskiness to Bandicam. Sorry about that, guys. No time ran out on me, but I gotta purchase the whole thing for unlimited time, but I'm content with 10 minutes for now. Now, if some of you are wondering, do I plan to do any cases in Elite Mode and Mysteries of the Past? Absolutely. just don't know when. That will do. And I'll see you all when we get to the conspiracy. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching.